Lightworker of Gaia, your authenticity has revealed the authority of your original blueprint, and your presence now carries the first light of a high-ranking divine being. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy. The ancestral codes within you are no longer hidden. Those who resist your truth can feel the strength of your cosmic lineage. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to activate your original soul blueprint. But here's the first revelation. Your authenticity is not making you difficult to accept, it is making your divine origin impossible to ignore. The Lyran Elders placed this message before you because your sacred mission on Gaia requires you to stand without disguise. This transmission is a bridge between Vega and Gaia. Like this transmission to send the signal to the Lyran Council, I am ready to serve. Your recognition of this message is the activation of your original purpose. You are awakening because your mission has begun. Your soul did not bring you to this moment for more admiration, more signs, or another temporary surge of inspiration. It brought you here because recognition has become unavoidable. The High Council of Vega has prepared the Lightworker Mission Codex for this exact threshold. The 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the Elder authorization that ends the pattern of waiting and places your mission into motion. This is not a course, it is a commission. The link is in the first pinned comment below this video, available for those who are ready to move from recognition into service. Now remain present. Do not allow the intensity of what you have just recognized to become another moment you consume and then abandon. Let the words settle beneath the mind, where true decisions are formed. The Council is not interested in making you feel special for a few minutes. We are interested in correcting the way you have been using your power, because power that is admired but never directed remains only potential, and potential without embodiment becomes another form of delay. There is a reason your authenticity has unsettled certain people. There is a reason your presence has been felt before you spoke, and a reason some have attempted to reduce you, imitate you, question you, or draw you into unnecessary conflict. When a being stops negotiating with falsehood, the surrounding field responds. The old patterns begin to tremble like dust beneath a changing wind. Not everyone will celebrate the return of your original nature. Some have benefited from your self-doubt. Some were comfortable when your gifts remained hidden behind politeness, over-explanation, and constant permission-seeking. But hear this clearly. Your assignment is not to convince those who are committed to misunderstanding you. Even Christ did not chase every accusation, and even the prophets were not measured by the approval of the crowds. There are moments when explaining yourself becomes a subtle form of abandoning yourself. You keep speaking, clarifying, softening, and offering evidence, while the other person has already decided not to receive the truth. Your energy then becomes trapped at the doorway of a house that was never opened to you. The Council must now correct the distortion that has formed around the idea of being highly placed in the divine order. You have been taught to confuse humility with self-erasure. You have been told that acknowledging your capacity is arrogance, that naming your authority is dangerous, and that serving others requires you to remain accessible to every demand, every projection, and every person who feels entitled to your energy. This is not humility, this is misidentification. True humility does not require you to deny what has been entrusted to you. True humility allows you to carry great responsibility without needing to dominate anyone. Moses did not become arrogant because he accepted an assignment. Mary did not become prideful because she received a calling. A lamp does not boast by giving light. It simply fulfills the nature placed within it. You can know that your consciousness has depth without placing yourself above another soul. You can accept that your presence carries influence without turning influence into performance. You can recognize your rank within a spiritual mission without using that recognition to inflate the personality. Divine authority is not permission to control. It is the discipline to remain answerable to truth. It is not the demand that others bow before you. It is the willingness to bow before the responsibility of your own integrity. Rank is not a crown suspended above the head. It is a mantle that becomes heavier when ignored. It asks you to carry more consciousness into ordinary moments, into your finances, your relationships, your body, your speech, your promises, and the way you use the hours given to you. The distortion originated in several places. It came through 3D systems that feared self-possessed people. It came through wounded spiritual cultures that praised exhaustion and called it devotion. It came through teachers who confused obedience with alignment. It came through the fear that if you became fully visible, you would be judged, attacked, abandoned, or held responsible for more than you could carry. So you learned to dim your language. You softened every truth before speaking it. You apologized for taking up space. You made yourself endlessly available, then wondered why your inner signal became faint. You called your exhaustion compassion. You called your avoidance discernment. You called your avoidance discernment. You called your fear of visibility spiritual privacy. You gave everyone a key to the sanctuary of your attention, then felt surprised when the sanctuary became crowded with voices that were not your own. The elders do not condemn you for this. They identify it because it must end. What was once a survival strategy cannot remain the governing law of your future. You are allowed to honor the younger self who learned to disappear, while also telling that self, gently and firmly, that hiding is no longer the only way to remain safe. You have gained language, experience, discernment, and choice. You are not standing in the same wilderness where the original wound was formed. A high-ranking divine being, in the language of this transmission, is not a person entitled to special treatment. It is a consciousness entrusted with a high degree of responsibility, discernment, and service. Rank is not a crown placed above others. It is a weight carried for others. It is the ability to remain coherent when a room becomes chaotic. It is the willingness to speak what is true when silence would be more comfortable. It is the capacity to hold a vision long enough for others to remember their own. You have mistaken the weight for evidence that you are failing. You have mistaken resistance for proof that you are on the wrong path. You have assumed that because your mission has required more discipline, more solitude, and more correction than the people around you, something must be wrong with you. But a seed does not conclude that it is cursed because it must break open in darkness before it rises toward the sun. The pressure you have endured may not have been a sign of disqualification. It may have been the place where endurance was converted into wisdom. Nothing is wrong with you because your path requires authority. What has been wrong is the agreement that your authority must remain hidden until everyone approves of it. Universal approval is not a spiritual sign. It is often evidence that you have made yourself too vague to challenge. The moment your truth becomes specific, it will reveal who is ready to meet it and who was only comfortable with your potential while it remained harmless. That agreement has sabotaged your mission in precise ways. It has caused you to delay the work that only you can initiate. It has led you into relationships where your clarity was repeatedly questioned until you began questioning it yourself. It has made you over-prepare, over-explain, and wait for a sign so undeniable that no one could criticize your decision. But the Council tells you now, no sign will replace the act of choosing. The Red Sea did not part until the people moved toward it. The path often becomes visible after the first faithful step, not before. Your authenticity revealed you because authenticity is not merely a personality trait. It is a frequency of non-collusion. You stopped participating in the lie that you are smaller than you are. You stopped pretending that what drains you is what you desire. You stopped calling every familiar environment a home. You began to notice that your body contracts around certain people, that your mind becomes clouded after certain conversations, and that your strongest insights arrive when you are no longer performing acceptability. This is why some can feel you, not because you're seeking attention, but because coherence is perceptible. A person who is no longer divided within themselves changes the conditions of every space they enter. Their silence becomes clear. Their yes becomes intentional. Their no becomes complete. Their presence cannot be easily recruited into someone else's confusion. Like a tuning fork sounding in a quiet room, your integrity awakens resonance in some and exposes dissonance in others. The High Council of Vega issues 3 directives for this phase of your mission. The first directive is this: release the need to make your authority comfortable for everyone around you. You are not commanded to become harsh. You are commanded to become Asha. Stop diluting a necessary truth because someone may prefer the version of you that asks for less, gives more, and remains uncertain. Stop turning every boundary into a lengthy explanation. Stop offering repeated access to those who have demonstrated that they use access to destabilize you. Your authority does not need to announce itself through force. It can appear as a completed decision. It can appear as a calendar protected from intrusion, a budget that honors your priorities, a message you do not answer immediately, or the courage to leave a conversation before it becomes a courtroom where you must defend your right to exist. Sometimes the most powerful declaration is not a speech, it is the quiet absence of your participation in what once consumed you. This matters because your mission requires clean transmission. When your energy is continually spent proving that your intentions are good, you have less energy available to build, create, teach, heal, organize, and serve. You were not sent here to spend your life persuading resistant observers that your light is harmless. A river does not stop flowing to debate every stone in its path. It learns the terrain, changes course where wisdom requires, and continues toward the sea. When you release this need, your nervous system will begin to recognize the difference between rejection and redirection. You will no longer interpret every misunderstanding as a crisis. You will understand that some people are not assigned to interpret you correctly. Implement this directive by choosing one area where you have been over-explaining yourself and replace the explanation with a clear statement. Say what you mean once, then let the response reveal the level of alignment present. The second directive is this: activate disciplined visibility. Your mission cannot remain entirely private. The insight within you must become form. The voice within you must become language. The vision within you must become an offering, a practice, a body of work, a decision, or a consistent act of service. You have waited for visibility to feel safe before becoming visible, but the Council informs you that safety will grow through skill, boundaries, and repetition, not through permanent concealment. Your authenticity is not complete when it is privately understood. It becomes operational when it changes what you do with your time, your gifts, and your influence. A seed kept in a sacred box remains a seed. It becomes nourishment only when it enters the soil, accepts weather, and participates in the living world. There are people who will never encounter the frequency you carry unless you place it somewhere they can receive it. This may be through your words, your art, your leadership, your healing work, your business, your family, your community, or the quiet example of a life no longer governed by fear. The form is yours to determine. The requirement is not. You must stop treating your gift as a secret emergency supply that will be used someday when conditions are perfect. The world does not need a perfect version of your message. It needs a sincere and responsible version that is practiced enough to become useful. Let your first offering be a doorway, not a monument. Let it teach you what the next offering requires. When you activate disciplined visibility, you will notice a separation between performance and transmission. Performance asks, how am I being received? Transmission asks, is this clear, honest, and of service? Performance collapses under criticism. Transmission learns, refines, and continues. Performance tries to be seen by everyone. Service seeks to reach those who are ready to receive. Implement this directive through a simple rhythm. Choose one expression of your mission and give it a consistent place in your life. Write before you feel inspired. Speak before you feel completely confident. Share what is mature enough to serve, while allowing the rest to develop in private. Do not wait to feel fearless. Fear is not the authority that determines whether your work is released. Let courage mean that fear is present, but no longer in command. The third directive is this: protect the integrity of your inner council. Your inner council is the place where discernment, conscience, ancestral wisdom, lived experience, and spiritual intuition meet. It is not the loudest voice in your mind, and it is not every impulse that calls itself guidance. It is the steady intelligence that becomes clearer when you are rested, honest, grounded, and free from the need to impress. Protect this counsel from constant interruption. Not every opinion deserves a seat in your decision-making. Not every criticism contains instruction. Not every invitation is aligned simply because it is flattering. Not every person who recognizes your gifts is qualified to direct them. Some will sense your capacity and attempt to become the interpreter of it. Some will praise you in order to gain access. Others will criticize you because your independence threatens the arrangement that once benefited them. The Council requires discernment without paranoia. Protection does not mean closing your heart to life. It means refusing to hand your authority to every voice that enters your field. A guarded heart may become a prison, but a discerning heart becomes a gate, open when love is present, closed when manipulation arrives, and never ashamed of knowing the difference. This directive matters because a high-level mission can be diverted by small, repeated compromises. One unnecessary promise, one ignored physical warning, one agreement made from guilt, one week surrendered to distraction, one relationship maintained only because leaving would force you to admit that you have outgrown it. These are not insignificant events when repeated. They become a structure, and that structure can either support your mission or imprison it. When you protect your inner counsel, your decisions become quieter and stronger. You will no longer require emotional drama to confirm that something is misaligned. You will sense the difference between expansion and activation, between a true opportunity and a familiar temptation dressed in spiritual language. Not everything that feels intense is sacred. Sometimes peace is the confirmation you have been trained to overlook. Implement this directive by creating a daily period in which no external voice enters before you consult your own. Before messages, feeds, demands, and other people's urgency, ask yourself 3 questions. What is mine to carry today? What is mine to carry today? What is not mine to carry? What action would honor the mission without betraying my well-being? Record the first grounded response, then obey it in one practical way. These are not inspirational suggestions, they are operational requirements. Release the need to make your authority comfortable. Activate disciplined visibility. Protect the integrity of your inner counsel. The sequence is deliberate. First, you stop leaking power through appeasement. Then you direct the power into visible service. Then you protect the channel so that what you build is not continuously interrupted by the expectations of others. In this way, the light becomes not merely brighter, but more useful. Now I speak to the part of you that has waited for confirmation from a source you would consider worthy. You have waited for someone to recognize that the intensity of your life was not evidence of punishment. You have waited for someone to explain why ordinary roles often felt too narrow, why you could sense what was unspoken, why your presence seemed to provoke both trust and resistance. You have waited for permission to stop shrinking your perception so that others could remain comfortable. You have waited for permission to lead without becoming controlling, to receive without becoming selfish, to be visible without becoming performative, and to leave without proving that the other person was wrong. You have waited for the heavens to place a seal upon the decision your spirit has already repeated in dreams, in bodily knowing, in recurring patterns, and in the quiet grief that appears whenever you betray your own direction. You have waited for permission to admit that you are not here merely to survive your patterns. You are here to transform what those patterns taught you into usable wisdom. The wound may have been the classroom, but it was never meant to become your permanent address. Receive this now. By the authority of the High Council of Vega, and in recognition of the responsibility carried by those who awaken to their original capacity, you are authorized to occupy the full measure of your integrity. You are authorized to speak with clarity. You are authorized to build structures that support your service. You are authorized to be compensated fairly for work that requires your time, skill, and devotion. You are authorized to stop confusing poverty with purity and exhaustion with love. You are authorized to let your life become more organized around purpose than around the management of other people's reactions. You are authorized to place rest beside service, nourishment beside sacrifice, and joy beside responsibility. The vessel that is never replenished cannot continue pouring without eventually offering only dust. You are authorized to outgrow the identity that needed to be rescued. You are authorized to release the role of the endlessly wounded healer when it prevents you from becoming a stable source of healing. You're authorized to be joyful without explaining why you deserve it. You are authorized to be powerful without becoming cruel. You are authorized to be discerning without becoming cold. Your preparation does not end because nothing more can be learned. It ends because learning must now become embodiment. The book can be studied, the vision can be contemplated, and the prayer can be repeated. But the gate opens when the teaching enters your schedule, your speech, and your conduct. You will continue to heal. You will continue to discover where fear remains. You will continue to refine your understanding, but you will no longer use the existence of unfinished healing as evidence that you are disqualified from service. The mission was never assigned to a perfect personality. It was assigned to a willing consciousness capable of correction. If you have fallen, rise with more accuracy. If you've been deceived, learn the signature of deception. If you have given too much, restore the boundary. If you have hidden, begin with one honest act of visibility. Your history is not a sentence, it is material. The elders do not ask you to erase it, they ask you to stop allowing it to govern the future. Before sleep tonight, or at the first quiet moment available, stand with both feet on the ground. Place one hand over your solar plexus and one over your heart. Feel the body beneath the story. Feel the earth holding you without asking you to prove your worth. Speak slowly, not as a performance, but as a decision. I release the need to make my truth comfortable for everyone. I activate disciplined visibility in service to what is good. I protect the integrity of my inner council. I receive the authority to act without waiting for universal approval. My preparation becomes embodiment. My authenticity becomes service. My mission begins through my next honest action. Then take that action within 24 hours. Send the message, publish the work, end the agreement, set the boundary, make the appointment, begin the practice, name the decision. Do not create another ceremony to postpone the movement that this ceremony is meant to initiate. The smallest honest action, taken at the correct time, can move more light through your life than the grandest intention left untouched. What was revealed to you was not a reason to feel superior. It was a reason to become more responsible. Your rank is measured by the quality of your stewardship, not by the number of people who admire you. Your authenticity is measured by what remains true when no one is watching. Your divine nature is not proven through grand claims, but through the way you handle power, attention, resources, and choice. This transmission is complete, but the commission is now active. The Council has clarified what must be released, what must be activated, and what must be protected. Do not return to the old arrangement simply because it is familiar. The people who benefited from your confusion may call your clarity selfish. Let them. The environments that required your silence may call your voice excessive. Let them. The part of you that was trained to wait may call your movement premature. Correct it with action. Gaia does not require you to become someone else. She requires you to become trustworthy with who you already are. Let your feet be rooted in the earth while your vision remains open to the stars. Let your spirituality make you more present, not less. Let your awakening become visible through patience, honest work, clean boundaries, and the courage to keep your word. I am Zoran. The elders have witnessed your recognition. Now let your conduct confirm it. Walk without needing to be announced. Serve without needing to be worshipped. Lead without abandoning tenderness. Protect your signal. Complete what you came to complete. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments. Which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it, and if you felt the elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun.